Club on 947.
Monday to Friday,
Listen every morning.
6 to 9 a.m.
Night Pulse is starting a revolution. Well, sort of. It's March Madness on 947.
Last week on the show, we were protesting against
the
even just thinking
expiration
about it
of
now.
data.
I was checking my phone because my Twitter wasn't working. I was like, "Is my data finished? What's going on here?"
Oh, shucks. You actually literally had that moment.
We
So
would-
what is it? It had expired.
No, because it's not working on Wi-Fi or data. I don't know what's
okay.
going on. Anyway, last week we talked about how it's ridiculous, the idea that data expires. We get that it's expensive, but even though it's so expensive, if you don't use it within that period, be it 7 days or a month,
It should roll over.
exactly. I bought it, it's mine. I saw somebody on Twitter, some big account was also tweeting something similar.
Yes. A lot of people are just fed up, man. They are fed up.
I think it went well last week.
So we're back again for round 2.
Last week it went so well that we had a high-ranking member of government
Willing
in
to
on the
take
show.
it up, please.
So
And
we'll
they
see.
said they are going to do right by us data users and see what they can do to make sure that, hey, man, this injustice is not carried through or carried forward into all the other years that we're going to find ourselves buying data. Please.
Absolutely. I mean, whichever political party manages to get that done, we're going to give them 10
No,
years
we're
of our
voting for
votes.
you, please.
10 years, 10 years.
Forever and
In
ever.
perpetuity, actually. Our kids will vote for you.
Forever and ever.
Otherwise, we'll start our own political party here. All right, so today we've got a new thing that we're protesting against.
Ooh, this one, hey, man. Hey, even me right now, I can't go and get my hand checked because of this issue.
You're so silly. Coming up next, we'll tell you what we're protesting for today's March. We're taking it seriously, and so should... I'm calling upon the Minister of Health, owners of healthcare facilities, both private and public. This is a call to all managers of parking institutions and parking companies. You are being summoned as we gather for this March protest.
Amandla!
Away to
Amandla, comrade.
away to.
Yeah, we the people, united in our shared values of compassion, fairness, and respect for human dignity, stand against the imposition of paid parking at hospitals. We protest the unjust and exploitative practice of charging patients, their families, and healthcare workers for parking at facilities that serve the most vulnerable in society. Amandla, comrade!
Amanda!
This is a practice that does not belong in any institution that claims to prioritize health, care, and well-being. Amandla!
Away to.
As a result, we are protesting because hospitals are for healing, not for profiteering, comrades. It is deeply unethical to make people pay for something that should be a basic right. Amandla!
Away to.
Access to healthcare is a basic right. Now, charging for parking at hospitals is a form of exploitation, turning places of care into profit-making centers at the expense of those in need. Parking must fall, comrades.
Parking must fall, not to mention...
Paid parking.
Oh, yeah. We need parking. Paid parking must fall. Not to mention the impact on mental health and well-being. The stress of dealing with a medical concern is already overwhelming for families and, of course, those in hospital. Adding the burden of paying for parking just increases the emotional strain on families, not to mention the financial strain on families who are already dealing with the fear and anxiety that comes with illness.
Amandla!
Away to.
Healthcare costs, comrades, are already too high. Now, the reality is that the cost of healthcare has risen significantly in recent years, and the practice of charging for parking only adds to this financial burden.
Amanda! This is a matter of basic human dignity. Charging for parking at hospitals shows a lack of respect for the struggles and challenges faced by patients and their families. Healthcare institutions should demonstrate the highest levels of empathy to the people that they service.
Amandla, comrades!
Away to.
Now, as a result, we are demanding that free parking be made for patients and visitors. Hospitals should be accessible without the added burden of parking fees. Individuals who are already suffering the physical, emotional, and financial toll of illness should not have to worry about paying to access the care that they urgently need. Amanda!
Away to. And on top of that, we call for the support for healthcare workers. Doctors, nurses, staff, and essential workers are already underpaid, overworked, under immense stress. To add parking fees to the top of that already overwhelming responsibility is an insult to the tireless dedication that they have. They deserve to be able to park and focus on critical work without worrying about how much it will cost them.
Amanda!
Away too.
Now, we also demand for fairness and equity for everybody. Paid parking disproportionately affects lower-income families who may already struggle to pay for essential medical care, medications, and transportation. Now, by charging for parking, hospitals create a barrier for the most vulnerable in our society to access care. We demand an equitable healthcare system where no one is financially penalized for seeking the care that they need. Amanda, comrade!
Away too. Please join us. We beg you, comrades, to join us. We will not be silent. We will not allow the greedy few to profit off the sick and vulnerable. This is a call for action to all those who believe that healthcare should be accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial situation. We ask that you stand to fight for fairness, dignity, and compassion. Together, we demand change. Amanda. Pansy paid parking pansy. Pansy paid parking pansy. If you're just tuning in, March has returned. We just finished our protest when it comes to paid parking at hospitals, which I think is a ridiculous act in general. We got this voice note coming through also in agreement with us that it should go.
Yo, hi Tim, it's Bulele's Amanda for me. Yo, no, it must fall. Amanda!
Away!
No, because I feel it so deeply.
No, I'm with you.
I've actually had my own personal experiences where I actually just felt like, if anything, I'm going to push that boom gate down. Because why must I be paying when I'm going through so much stress?
Absolutely.
When I'm going through so much, trying to make sure that, the person that is in hospital is getting what they need. And sometimes you're not just there for a moment. You're there for different periods. And at every moment, you are finding yourself needing to pay for parking at every time that you visit the hospital. No, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. And to make the situation worse is that while you're in hospital, you're paying so much
money, dude.
So much money. What does a 10 rand mean to the hospital?
No, honestly, that should be the sort of relief that they actually give to patients and family members that are there visiting the hospital. Already, even just going to buy something to drink there by the vending machines or by the cafeteria is a lot.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, we're paying for parking.
Yeah, they act like people at hospitals to have fun. Like I'm going like a mall.
No,
like you're going to the mall to buy some nice clothes.
No,
Hospitals, firstly, no one wants to be at your place.
Exactly.
We have no desire to hang out at your establishment. We're brought there by emergencies and unforeseen situations. The idea that you want to charge us for parking to be there. I'll tell you a quick story of a horror that I saw. When we were in and out of hospital, because our son, when he was first born, as you know, first couple of months were very hectic. He was in and out. So we'd drive back every day to go see him a couple times a day. The one time we're driving in, and right behind me, pulling up to the other entrance of the hospital, is a woman with a completely bloodied face. Blood out the nose and down her neck. I don't know if it was coming out of her ears, but her face was completely bloodied, right?
Oh my gosh.
She has got her hazards on. She's hooting and she says to the security guard, brother, please just open, just open.
Please open. I'm in an emergent situation.
Security guard goes, wave your hand. The ticket will come out and open automatically.
Hi, Bo.
Then she gets in and she's panicking, which of course just drives straight to emergency.
Yes, emergency, and they will be able to assist you.
Proceeds to tell her, don't park here. This is for doctors. Go park at the top.
Hi, Bo. Even lack of compassion there by the security. No, man.
But obviously he's taking instructions from somebody else.
I get that, but I also, as a human being, you needed to have expressed some sort of compassion to that situation.
That's true. It gets. I mean, I know we like our protest that we're doing is somewhat lighthearted, but it is quite a serious thing, and it genuinely irritates me. I've never understood it. As somebody who's frequent to hospital many a times in the last year, it always really angers me.
Oh, it's a lot.
Even when you go just for an appointment, you're already spending so much money for a gynae appointment or a ped appointment, and then they still want to charge you the 20 rand at parking when you leave. And I'm like, guys, please, let's be serious.
Come on.
Let us be serious.
Come on, man. Take that money off of what we're already paying you for the consultations or the service that you're offering.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of you agree with us. If you disagree, I'd also like to hear from you on 066-381-8609. Are you on the capitalist side of it all? Which, by the way, I'm a big capitalist. And you think, hey, man, let people make their money. It is what it is. It's a private hospital, and after all, I've heard that argument many a times. It's a private facility. You can charge to let you in. Right of admission is reserved, as you always hear. 066-381-86. Anyway, man, we wrap up March for tonight. The protest against paid parking at hospitals.
Good afternoon, team. And the parking is always full. No place to park.
That's true. It
is always so full.
Hey, Night Pulse. Look, I agree with you guys 100%. The parking there has to shut down. Do you know what it's like to wait for long? Because you're sitting in triage and there's more urgent situations. So you sit at triage for hours. Well, it feels like hours. But yeah, maybe even hours waiting just so that they remove your stitches. Kanti, the parking ticket is building up. Do you know what it's like when you arrive somewhere and your doctor's still quickly wrapping up a patient, but you wait for long? And then what's happening? It's building up, the parking ticket. Like, no, I agree with you guys. Bona, pansing, paid parking, pans. Because there's no way that this must happen. It's unacceptable. That time you're busy crying, but melupadale, parking ticket. Guys. You know what they should do? They should have the doctors at the different rooms. When you're there for something go sad and go hectic, they must give you those paid tickets. You give them your unpaid one, they give you a verified one, and you just drive out. At the ER, it must be supplied, mandatory. Each person that walks into the ER gets a paid, verified, officiated, whatever they call them, tickets that they don't have to pay on their way out, because it's unacceptable.
Yeah, thank you for that message. It should be some sort of policy across the board, but I will let you in on a little secret after my little rant. It is possible. At the hospital that I always go to, every ward has a stamp. So yes,
So they stamp your ticket and you're able to go out
if you're within the ward. Now, I don't know how it works if you're just there for a checkup or whatever it may be.
Now we are being discriminated against. So if we're not carrying babies now, we can't have a validated
just
ticket.
wards in general. So if there's a casualty ward, even if as an adult you get checked in, as long as you're admitted in to those wards, at the front desk of the ward, there's a hospital. So what I suggest is, if this may be illegal, I might be breaking somebody's rules, but I suggest, even if you're going to visit a friend, who's sick or whatever it may be, just get your ticket stamped at the ward, Just after my many months in hospital, you just get it stamped and then it's free. Because you're right, if it's not free, I'm there for hours on end.
Yeah.
I'm not paying 100 Rand for a full day of parking. That's ridiculous.
That's not going to need us to actually,
Should I tell the name of the hospital?
No,
or is that too far? Is that too far?
Just in case you are giving people secrets that you weren't supposed to be giving out, please.
Just check if the ward you're visiting has a stamp for you. All right, tomorrow we need some suggestions. What are we protesting against? Remember, the whole month of March, right here on 947's Night Pulse, we will be protesting a different issue every day.